And welcome back. It is the 13th of August, high five at 8, and let's just go straight to the first question. So the first question says, the LCM of two numbers is 352. The HCF is 4, one of the numbers is 44, find the other number. Okay. There is a definite technique to do this one here that makes it much easier. So you think about how you do HCF and LCM typically. What you will know is if the HCF is 4, then that number 4 goes in the middle. Then I know the circle on the left or the circle on the right basically must give me 44. So I'm going to use the circle on the left. 4 times 11 is 44, it means the other number is 11. Then I also know the LCM is that times that times that I don't know. So in other words, the red box must be 3, I'm doing this in my calculator, 352 divided by 44, which is going to be 8, which means this number here is 8. But you've got to be careful because that's not the other number. The other number is 8 times 4, which is 32. So in other words, it's the number in the other circle. Good question. Next question. PM is a tangent. Note I've got a centre as well. So I've got a tangent and a centre. Find the size of angle CAM. Now I'm going to zoom in here. Key to these questions, two things. One, if there's a centre, which radii are equal? If I know equal, I've got an isosceles triangle. Thankfully, I don't need to give reasons. So that's 19. Actually, let's go back. What do I need? CAM. So I want CAM. So I want this angle here. Okay, so I've got this angle here. Now, I know this is 19, 19, which means that this is 180 minus 38, which is going to be 142. I'll put this over here, so 142. Angle at the edge is half, so therefore this is going to be 71. And then I've done the question, because I know by alternate segment theorem that this angle here creates this triangle, so therefore this is 71. So the answer to my question for the here is going to be 71 degrees. That's a good question. All the circle theorems almost in one go. Next question. The table below shows the probabilities of a spinner landing on 4 different colours. The spinner is spun twice. Find the probability that the spinner lands on black twice. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to remember that x plus 0.3 plus x plus 2x plus x plus 0.1 is equal to 1. X plus 2x plus x is 3, 4, 5, is 5x. And 0.3 plus 0.1 is 0.4, and so therefore that equals 0.6, which finally means that x is equal to 0.6 over 5 or 0.12. Okay, so far. Remember, all I've done is find out what x is. Then I need to work out what these are. So actually, I don't need them all, do I? I just need black. So black is 2 times that, which is 0.24. The spinner is spun twice. Find the probability that the spinner lands on black twice. Well, that's going to be 0.24 squared, which just is, on my calculator here, 0.0576 or 5.76%. Question done. Good question, that. Next one. The perimeter of sector OAB is 23. Find x. Okay, so this is 9 because it's a sector, so it's a radius. And this here is x divided by 360 times by 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times the radius, which is 9, which means I have an equation. So therefore 9 plus 9 plus x over 360 times 18 pi is equal to 23. This isn't going to be a nice number, by the way. That means, let's try and tidy this up. So 23, this is 18. So 23 minus 18 is 5, which means that x over 360 is equal to 5. And then I'm going to divide the 18 pi from here. So I'm doing a couple of bits of rearranging in one go. So check you're happy with these steps. We're doing a couple of steps in one go, which means that x is equal to 5 times 360 divided by 18 pi. I'm going to put all this in my calculator in one go, and that tells me that x is 31.8 degrees. Question done. Good question. I did quite a few steps there, so make sure you're okay with what I've done. Final question today. In an election, there are 2 parties to vote for, the yellow and the purple party. 6,124 more people voted for the yellow than the purple. Work out the total number of voters. The way to do this is to think about the degrees difference. So in other words, purple is equal to 140 and yellow is 360 minus 140, which is 220 degrees. And the difference between these two is the 220 minus 140, which is 80 degrees. And 80 degrees is equal to 6,124, which means that 360 degrees is equal to, well, it's going to be that times 360 over 80. I'm scaling it up, which is 27558. So the answer to my question is 27558 voters. And that is question done. A nice mix of questions today. I've enjoyed the questions today, probably more than the last few days. Either way, let me know how it went for you. Do leave any comments down below. As ever, like and subscribe really helps the channel get to more people. And I'll see you for tomorrow's questions. Thanks all.